If I were you, I would be more careful. Understand that Achan, as you read the lesson, he was old enough to have a family. Which gives me some idea that he was around for some of the recent experiences of Israel. He was around for the crossing of the Jordan River. He was around for some of the wandering in the wilderness. And he was also around for probably one of the most greatest battles in history, which was the conquering of Jericho. He was around for all of these things, which makes me believe that Achan understood the power of God. I don't know how long you may have been around, but you should have experienced something by now that is enough for you to believe about in the power of God. And to understand that when God said something, that he truly means it. God had given them specific instructions when it came down to conquering the city of Jericho. We knew, or we understand, he said, march around the city once a day, once for 6 days, and on the seventh day, march around 7 times. And they were to be completely silent. And then when Joshua say, shout now, for the Lord has given the city. And then at that moment, they would shout. But one thing that we may not always hear in a preaching or a teaching was that there were some more instructions. God had told Joshua to let them know that this city, I see the city as being accursed. So anything in the city, make sure that you burn it. If you're going to save anything, it's going to be the gold and the silver and the brass and I believe the iron. And you take those things and you put it in the treasury of the Lord. So anything that I say burn, you burn. Anything I say don't burn, you take it. But it does not belong to you. It belongs to me, saith the Lord. And we have to understand that sometimes we may get our hands on stuff, but no matter what we get our hands to, it always belongs to God. Wow. Everything we touch, everything we got away from or got away with, it belongs to God. The leftovers belong to God. Even the city itself belongs to God. But God wanted them to know that he doesn't want to be around things that are accursed, things that are damnable, things that are wicked. He doesn't want to be around those things. And he said, I want you to burn the city. I believe that it would be something so extreme if we saw a city burn today. But when I think about this burning of the city, it reminds me of Sodom and Gomorrah. How God burned that city. I was speaking to First Lady, and she reminded me that in Sodom and Gomorrah, even in the New Testament, it lets us know that it's going to be worse in these days or than it was for Sodom and Gomorrah. And Sodom and Gomorrah was a place where homosexuality was running rampant. And I remember another thing that God promised in the covenant. Many times, especially in this season when it rains, you may see the sun come out. You're going to see a rainbow. Yes. And I believe that we all love rainbows and how beautiful the rainbow is. The rainbow is a promise from God that I'm not going to flood the world with water again. And even though we see the benefit in the promise, we need to make sure that we see everything that God is saying. God did not say I'm not going to punish the world again. He actually, with the rainbow, promises to punish the world. But he promised not to do it with water, but to do it with fire next time. And then I look at the homosexuality going on in our world now. And they decided to choose the rainbow, as their flag. Understand the same rainbow that God used as a promise. And even though we might think of it as a promise of blessing, we see blessings in it, but it's also a promise of punishment. That it's going to be fire next time. And when you see the similarities, I don't think it's an accident that that's the flag of the homosexuals and transgender. Because it's going to be fire next time. And we have to understand that God does not like the accursed thing. He doesn't like the things that are an abomination. And please understand that God loves everybody and we love everybody. But we understand that we've been preaching this for some time, that even though we may love the person, it's the sinful action that we don't agree with. We love everybody, but we cannot agree with everyone's actions. And we have to understand that we have to recognize the accursed thing. And what happens is that they go and they're fighting and they're taking up the spoils, and they're supposed to be putting it in reserve for the treasury of the Lord. I'm not exactly sure where Achan got the idea from. There's some people that no matter what you tell them to do, there's going to be somebody that's going to do the opposite. And even though Achan knew that, yes, I have to put this in the treasury of the Lord and anything else needs to be burned, Achan himself decides, I'm going to start taking some things. You have to be careful who you have fighting for you. Everyone that fights for you, you may not be able to trust. You might think they're actually fighting for you, but they're only fighting for you to see what they can get out of you and see what they can get out of the situation. The only reason why I'm on your side is so that you owe me now. You owe me a favor. So Achan is fighting, but now he's trying to pay himself. I feel something here. He's trying to pay himself for fighting for the Lord. I'm here to let you know that when you are working for the Lord, you cannot pay yourself. Only God can pay you. Only God can reward you. So don't be weary in well-doing. You're going to reap in due season if you faint not. Only God can bless you. But Achan was trying to pay himself. And because he tried to pay himself, now he got himself in trouble. But not just himself in trouble, he got his family in trouble. But not just his family in trouble, he got his whole tribe in trouble. But not just his whole tribe in trouble, he got all 12 tribes in trouble. How do we know this? We go to chapter 7, and now they're fighting a battle. Understand that because of the way that they won in Jericho, they had some confidence. I believe that one of the reasons why the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to win was because the momentum had shifted. When you won a battle, the momentum starts to shift in your favor. So they were able to win the last 3 games and do what was never done before because there was a shift in the momentum. They were able to know that we have confidence now that we can do this. And now that they were able to win Jericho, Israel has confidence now. Israel has confidence now. Israel has confidence now. And now they're going into Ai. And Ai seems to be a smaller city. And they go and they spy out the town. They go back to Joshua and say, listen, we don't need as many people. We can just take this with maybe 3,000 or so. And we can go in there and win.